What's going on, folks? How you doing out there? We're back here, of course, on Farming Simulator 19. And what we're going to be doing is, we're going to finish our harvest here, and we might just run the cultivator over this and get our next crop in. So we've got canola in here, so I think we'll get our dude going. What we're going to do, we'll just have a look here. Thanks, saving the game. You're so generous. So we have canola in here. So I think our next crop might be soybeans. Actually, let's have a look at what the prices are. Actually, where can we sell our canola as well? Let's have a look at that. So we've got, let's see, canola. Where's canola? That one. Is that canola? It'd be great if surely it used to say, burn it all down. No, I'm not going to do that. Mr. Cam. Yeah, canola. What we got in here. So we go here, canola. So we can sell that at the grain mill. It's the best. No, it's not. The grain elevator east is the best price. $1,058 doolittles. And then I think we're going to put some soybeans in 16. We can get max price at Port Northwest. But anyway, so we got what was it? Grain elevator east. So what one's that? Grain mill, grain elevator east down here. Not too far of a drive to get over there. Hey Doorbell, how are you doing today, sir? I hope you're doing okey dokey, neighbourino out there. What do we got in our truck? She's half full, nearly. Trailer, I should say. But, you know, this dude's just doing his thing. Which is how we like it. What we're going to do is we will fire up the tractor. And we will do a unload on the move here with the harvester. So we can keep that moving. You're going to work on my stream in an encouraging way? Lurk. Right. Awesome. Well, I mean, as long as you're here watching. Because that all helps. That all helps. Let's do a bit of... I mean, this is obviously the second best live stream for the day. We've already watched the first best, or the best, I should say. Let's go. It would be handy. I remember on, what was it? It was Farm Sim, what's this, 19, so the previous one was 17. I used to have a mod. I can't remember what it was called. It was like a status mod, and what it would do up in the corner, it would tell me, running the combine, for example, how full it is, so then I would know, of course, when to get the trailer and whatever ready to collect what we need to collect from it. So, but while the our work is doing what he's doing, let's have a look at a contract here. Some jobs. We might do one. Harvest ones. Sprayer, seeding one. Field 28. Oh, $382. It's not worth it. You're right. Not really anything here tickling me fancy if we look at the contracting jobs. Wow. Baling. Nah. Not anything there too exciting. Actually, what we could do is... now, actually, to be honest, with this field, if we look at it, needs to be ploughed. And also it needs lime. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to... I think we're going to invest in a plough. Now, here's my plan. Here's my idea. I think we may just wait till this is harvested and then we'll get into it. But I think what I might do is not buy a plough specifically, but get one of these. So we might get the... How much is that? 3. I mean, these... I wonder... No, okay, I can't. So I could get this. The DC 401 sounds almost like an aeroplane. For DC. Excuse me. 401. Now, it says here, of course, at the bottom, a subsoiler prepares fields for the next sowing. It can be used instead of a plough. So here's my thought. So I might get this for DC 401. Okay, that's $10,000. And then also, we could get the HR 4004. So what we can do is we can start creating a one-pass solution, if you will. So we can get this, and then we can hook this up. So the tractor, the 100 horse, we need to run this. And we need 130 for this. So the tractor here we've got 150 horsepower. So we should be able to run it. And then that means the cultivator we have, pretty sure we've got one. Or do we not? Actually, we might not have a cultivator because we bought the seeder we have, we bought it because it's no-till. If I remember correctly. Yeah, so we don't have a cultivator. But we could... because I was like, oh, if we have a cultivator, we could sell that. Ha ha. But we can't because we don't have one. But, we could, I suppose, maybe just buy the... We could just buy this. Or this. I think this is a better option because then we can get the power harrow on the back of that and then the seed box on the back of that sort of thing. So I think this could be a good option for us. So, so I think we might get to the DC 401 4 meters. Considering that we don't need to cultivate, we might actually not bother with this, at least at the moment. Because if we have a look here at actual ploughs, so now let's just keep in mind, we can use the subsoiler here as a plough. Now this here is 4 meters. It's 4 meters. It's 10 grand. So we have a look at a plough. So the Salford is $3,000 more, okay, and it is half the width. So it is not as good a value for money. Now, that said, we can use the Salford here to create new fields. So if we wanted to, I don't know, connect these up or whatever, we could do that if we bought the Salford. But we don't really need that option, I don't think, at the moment. So I think the Kuhn's probably the best buy for us. We can use that as our quote-unquote plough because this here does need ploughing. That's exactly right, Matt. Yeah, hard at it. Yes. So I think that's probably going to be our best option, is to buy the Kuhn subsoiler. So then we can, this could be ploughed, and then ploughing does increase yield as well. So that is good. So let's just wait for old Cobber here in the combine. What's he at? 35%. I mean, we're here. We'll take a load. Why not? That's nice, that car there to stop. But I will, something that continues to annoy me in these farming simulator games is the amount of room the harvester uses to turn around. It's ridiculous. All the time. They just use so much room and they don't need to. You know, so we'll get a load off of this. Because we can. Oops. We get a bit closer. Oh, that's bad driving. Solidly ordinary driving, that's for sure. What about 75%? Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'll just park this here. We'll unhook that and we will go down and we'll buy a subsoiler. And then we'll come up here. We'll go around the outside twice maybe, at least once. And yeah. Ha! Got tired of driving cars at 70. No, not quite. Middo. I just have a little bit of I have a rotation of games I'll sort of rotate through. So Farming Sim here was the next game on the rotation. So we're going to be playing that for an hour or so. So we're going to head down here to the shop. We're going to buy ourselves some tillage. Or some equipment so we can do some tillage. I've got to say, actually, the yes, rotation, yeah. I've got to say, actually, I have a lot of saved games here on Farming Simulator, and this one is actually probably the one I've played the most consistently because, well, you know, I'm playing it for you, and then we can go on a little bit of a journey of discovery. But I have quite a few. So like, I'll get into a saved game. I'll like do a harvest, plant a crop, and then like it's really like, oh, let's try a map sort of thing. Right up on that curb there. Go right over some sheep. I don't own any sheep, so I can't open any. Yeah, off to Bunnings. Yeah. Now, so we're going to buy this here. I could save to 500 and get this, but I don't want to. I'm going to get this one. So deal with it. Let's go deets. And also what can happen, of course, we have this, because see, it's got a hitch here on the back. So then future, if we want to, of course, and, you know, I've been on about this. In the future, we could buy this if we wanted to and have this on the front. Sorry, have the subsoiler, this rotary hoe, or actually it's power harrow to be specific. And then we can have a seed box on the back if we wanted to later on. But what we are going to do, of course, is we're going to get this. So we are going to go back into here. We're going to buy this. Do you want to buy it? Yes, yes, yes. And our tractor can tow this. And of course, you know, if we look here, you know, we can see the red out. So this is our field, our sole field, and you know it needs ploughing. So we're going to plough it. And of course, ploughing does help with yield, which is what we're all about. We want to be getting more product, of course, off the fields, well, the one field we have, so then we can hopefully earn a little bit more money a little bit quicker and expand our farm. So we will take the Fiat up the road here, and we'll start working whilst the combine's going the trailer's parked out of the way so we can start doing a little bit of work on our field whilst our hired thug is still harvesting it. Ooh, just having a sip of tea from the Audrey Hepburn vessel. It's very good. Off to Bunnings. I tell you what, I haven't actually been to Bunnings for a little while, Matt. I don't really have any need to go there. Actually, that said, speaking of Bunnings, and I've just said I don't really need to go there. It's my brother's birthday coming up, and I might go there and get him a drill or something. So I've got to go out Tuesday, have a haircut, so I might go in there then. Yeah, Dopeness, he plays Farming Simulator. His farms, even though he plays the same map as this, he's been playing for a while, so he of course is a lot further along than what we are. So we'll drop this. So this here, field 27, because it's highlighted green, this is the only field we own currently. So I don't have to bother about any of these other fields here because we don't own them. So this is the only one we have to worry about ploughing or fertilising, etc. at the moment. But I hope to get this here next, field 20, and the farmyard. That's 181,000 for that. So we've only got 50 grand, so we're a long way off that. But whoops! But I've just pushed F2. Has that broken anything? No. But yeah, this is the only bit I have to worry about because this is the only bit that I own. But we can do jobs for other people. We can do contracting jobs for other people. But yeah. But but when we it is pricey. But when we started the game. How long was that now? A couple of months ago. I asked, what should our goal be? Like, how long are we going to farm for? And it was suggested by somebody that we keep going until we make $1 million net profit. So we've only got to make another 950,000, and then we can do something else. So we might just start a. I don't know what I'll do. Actually, it's a long way off, but I think it's reasonably decent for us to have a goal in each game we play, so that we're just not aimless. Well, I don't want to say aimlessly, but so we're just not like playing a game for the sake of playing it. So with City Skylines, for example, I want to get our city to the maximum size it can be, and then once we've done that, I'm not sure, we might start playing a different game, for example. Swap it out for something else, as it were. But we'll see. Maybe here on Farming Simulator, there's a lot of options. So maybe we could start another farm on another map. That could be an option for us. But anyway, I don't have to worry about that now. But I suppose it's always good to have some sort of thought of some sort of plan moving forward for everything. 5-year plan. I don't know if I'd quite go that far, but yeah, it could be a good opportunity as well to play games that I've got on Steam that I've just never played before as well. I've put them in the rotation of games here, so yeah, it's a good could be a good way to play games that I haven't played for a long time or haven't played before. Anyway, the tractor, the old Fiat's doing pretty well here, towing this 6-shank ripper. I tell you what, in the real world, I don't know if I would actually use this tractor to pull this. She might be a bit hard going. I suppose it depends on the ground. But good night, Midori. Hope you have a good little kip. I wonder how the combine's going. It'll be fun. Whoops. Let's go back. There we go. Lower. Drive. So, a reason in the real world, at least, why you would use a subsoiler like this is pretty much it's for drainage, for starters, because what it does is it's got the long ripper shanks on it, and that breaks the hard, compacted soil that's underneath the topsoil, as it were. Also, if you were planting a crop that needed raised beds, so potatoes, poppies, for example, it is typically recommended that you run a ripper through your field first, simply because it helps with drainage, and it just makes the soil just a little bit looser for when they're mounding when they're doing the raised beds as well. So that's typically a reason why you would use something like a ripper here. At least around, the farms around where I live. It's typically, if you're doing something on raised beds, you would typically rip it, so it just loosens the ground a little bit and helps with water, so it doesn't lay. It can go into the ground, because the water will go through the top layer of soil, but if there's a hard pan, they call it can't get through, or the water can't, so the ground can't cope if there's a lot of rain. So that is a reason why you would do something like put a ripper through the ground. Just helps loosen it up. And of course, if you're doing something like raised beds, for example, for a crop, you would probably most likely also run a ripper through. Of course, once again, helps with drainage, and also just makes the soil a little bit more looser. So when it comes to mounding, doing the raised beds and such, it can just, the mounder, just do it a little bit easier. And actually, some of the mounders, I think, have a row of shanks on the front anyway, or first up sort of thing. But yeah. Anyways, bit of exciting talk there for you. Now you can see that as we go up the hill, the tractor here does struggle a little bit. You can sort of tell. So that's why in the real world, I probably wouldn't actually do this with a tractor this big. I would, if the shank on the far left and the one on the far right wasn't on there, I'd probably do it with just the four in the middle, and that's like the width of the tractor as well. I'd probably do it like that in the real world, but I don't think I'd quite go for one this wide. In the real world, as it were. But field here's coming up nice, which looks nice. It's good. So Harvester's still going, which is good. So he can just go. Actually, what I probably should have done is I probably should have gone and emptied our crop that we have in our trailer. That probably would have been a decent idea, because what we won't be able to do is when the harvester gets full, is of course we won't be able to empty empty it completely out. But oh well, that is what it is. You can hear the tractors that'll go. Rrr. But we're making reasonably. I mean, we're going all right with this. We're doing a decent speed, 12 or so k's, which is good. So yeah, it's going okay. Squeaky floors. A couple of people walking past. The harvest is at 80%. So I think, seeing that the trailer's up this end, we might unhook our ripper. As you can see there, the tractors are just working a bit hard. They're trying to get up that little bit of a hill. So what we're going to do is we'll just plop that and we'll unhook that. We'll get our trailer on. And we will now go and collect what is in the harvester, and we'll go downtown and sell it. And that will, I would suspect, hopefully get us back what we've just spent on that on the subsoiler. I could do the math on what we will get, but you know, we'll get what we get, sort of thing, you know. So what's this trailer at? 80, 95, 6, 7, 8, 99, 100. Right, cool. So we're going to go over to the elevator east, because that's where the canola price was the best. So we will start heading over there, and I'm just wondering if I can actually get there without having the map up. I think I probably could do, because that joins up there. Right, we'll get down there without the map up. Slow old drive. Anyway, how's everybody's day been? Hope it's been good. Excuse me. I was over earlier watching a bit of live stream for Cure, which was always a good time with the squadron over there. It's just this tractor it'll become a great yard tractor for us later on, but just currently it is slow. Look, it's like we're maxed out at 25 k's along here. Luckily we don't have to drive. I mean, if we had a field 1 or 2 or something, and we had to use this tractor to get gear up there, wow, that'd be a hard time. But look, I don't know if we'll ever get to quite this point, but I think I would like to segregate, as it were, break sort of a map down into sections and only grow particular crops in those sections. So then when it comes to harvest, when it comes to planting and such, we don't have to move or transport equipment quite so. Like, we don't have to transport any, if that makes sense. So say, for example, fields 1 through 5, if we just grow, like, I don't know, potatoes and sugar beets in those fields, we can put up a building and we can have our harvesting sugar beet and potato harvesting equipment parked up there, like, say, next to the sawmill all the time, ready to go. And then say fields 6 through 10, if we just do, like, I don't know, cotton right in them, Then we can have our cotton halves, so we can park it up. Looks like there's a bit of room there beside field 10. Yeah, we can have a shed there. We can park our cotton halves and some equipment there, so that we don't have to transport, big specialised pieces of equipment around the map so much. This road, geez, is that legit what we just did there? That looks dicey. But we're a long way away from that. I think sort of get field 2018 and field 19 really going to be our next sort of goals when it comes to getting fields, and probably 28, 29, and get into 21, 22. So that'd be no problem at all. But I think I would like to have maybe a little bit of crop. Maybe have like 2 or 3 crops in one particular area and just rotate through them. I think that might be an idea for the future. Anyway, but as I say, we're a long way off that. But I seem to enjoy making plans and thinking about how we're going to do this in the future. Look at our dollars is going up, which is good. 54, 55, 6, 7, 8, 60,000. So we got $11,380. So we have paid for our subsoiler, which is good, and we have made $1,000 on that as well, which is good. So we will roll down the hill. And I think what we'll do today, what our goal will be, is, of course, we'll get that field harvested, Mr. B, where we'll finish harvesting it for us. We'll get it worked up, and then probably next stream we will get a crop in there. We'll get our, what do we plant? Soybeans. We'll get that in there. I think, because I like to have, I think it's good to have a stream that's a decent, an okay length. I think probably 1.5 hours is probably about good for me. I don't, people stream, some people they just go and go and go for, it seems like forever. But maybe we can evolve into that maybe into the future. Where we're doing like a 3-hour stream. But also, if streams are comically long, then of course when we go over on, I like to put these up on YouTube. We can, sort of do that. Anyway. So the vacuum's going outside. So I'll go to volume, mic down time, I think. You can just listen to the magnificence of the tractor for a bit. So we're getting back to our field here, as you can see. So what we're going to do is we will just... Oh, the vacuum's back on again. But anyway, just going to go over to the harvester. We'll dump into the trailer, we'll go and sell that, and then we'll park up this stuff and then get back on the plough. Rightio, cool. We are going to fold this up, which basically means putting the hat down and then the stairs flipped up. Okay. And we'll park back over in the yard here. Come on, back. That'll be okay. We'll just... So it stays on the sealed stuff. There we go. Go there, down. Right, cool. We are done with the New Holland. So we'll get back into the tractor and we'll drive back. We'll dump this at the grain joint at what's a grain elevator east. So we'll dump it over there. Park of a trailer, come back and we'll finish ploughing up that field. Which if we look at this, here needs ploughing. You can see there the red's going. So we need to put a dump of lime on it at some point, but I don't think we're going to do that quite yet. We could lease... I suppose we could probably lease a lime spreader, but... I feel like I need an on-air sign, like one of those on-air signs, and put out in front of my door. Don't know. Tell you what, no respect in this household. For if you're trying to record something or that sort of stuff, just like loud noise, make as much loud noise as you can. Right, we'll negotiate this roundo boot. Like there's no pedestrians. Still encounter. Alright, this intersection looks really silly. You have to sort of like then drive down here and then like cut back on it. Rightio. Seems legit. Anyway, we're nearly there. Seems like anywhere in this tract seems like the long trip. Unless it's going from the yard to our field. But if we have to go beyond that, seems like it's a long trip. Seems like it's taken us ages to get over here. It's not really that far. Oh, well, I mean, I suppose it's far enough, but... Anyway, we'll dump our 4107 into this. Bushels, or I don't know what the measurement is. And our dollars. 4,348 on that. So our total harvesting comes to about 15 grand. Larko. What's going on? I got very excited just then, didn't I? How you doing? How's your day been? I hope it's been well. Whoops, we're all over the show. You fine? Just fine? I feel like you could be really fine. I mean, it's a possibility. How did, perhaps, yes. How did Ducky go on live stream this morning? It was like some unruly time for me, so I was in the cot. I assume you were there because you are his biggest fan. Much like me, we're both sleeping. I think Heather saw it. I'm not sure. It seems like she also never sleeps. Or she does for like 2 hours a day. Maybe she's a vampire or something. Hot take. That is. Yeah, indeed. Super hot take. So we've got the slowest tractor on earth. I mean, it just seems like it's slow. It's the pace we're doing's decent, but it just seems I could ride faster than this on my bicycle. 25 k's. Seems like it's just taking forever to get to where we need to go. So we'll get up here, back to the yard. We'll park the trailer, and then we will get back on the subsoiler and finish off our field. And just keep on keeping on. Just looking at our poor farmyard, looks very, very... Look at it. It's got nothing. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But oh well. We will have a nice yard one day. Goal, have a nice farmyard. But oh well. Here's what it is. Look, we're doing it the hard way. We're doing it the hard way. Doing it the hard way. Rightio, now where do we park our plough? Where's it? Up the top here. Because that's where our trailer was. So we took it off up the top here because our trailer was parked up here. So we've done our selling duties. Now we'll finish off. It seems like it's going to take for ages to do this, but you know, it'll take as long as it takes. So we'll do this, and yeah, might wrap it up. Cool, awesome. So we've got our subsoiler back on. Get our tractor lined up here. Drop and drive. So, yeah, we'll just do what we've got to do. What we might do actually is we might make a land, and then we'll start working on that as well. Instead of just going like up, turn, and then down, turn around and back up, how we're doing it now, we will make a land. So we will drive to the centre-ish maybe of the field, and then we will drive up that, and then we'll come back down this side, and then we'll just go up the opposite side of the land we've made. So we'll sort of like a bit of a, I don't know, circle thing, I suppose we'll sort of make. Just think I probably could have gone around the field here and again, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. Now what we're going to do, I reckon about here. This is not going to be straight, I can guarantee you that. We'll try and make it as straight as we can. So we'll drive up here. I'll take my hands off the keys, so the tractor will drive as straight as it, I don't know, as straight as it, I've lined it up, I guess. Looks like it's going reasonably okay. That's looking reasonably straight to me. So what we'll do is we'll go back down, of course, where we just have, and then when we come up again, we'll come up on the right-hand side of this, and we'll slowly close the gap from there to where we are here, and then of course that gap over there. It's just a little bit of a different technique. It's probably how somebody would do this particular. It's really how you would plant or disc cultivate something in the real world. So we'll go down here and then back up, and yeah, it'll be a fun time. Because that's how we do it. This is how we do. I would have to say it's probably the most boring job is ploughing or cultivating or something like that, but we could hire a guy to do it, but then we'd have, I mean, what would we do? We'd go and do a contract, I suppose, but contracts are interesting because we don't have a lot of equipment. We only have a harvester and trailer, and now we've only got the one tractor and such. So when we look at doing contracting jobs, we sort of probably have to weigh it up. If we have to borrow, well, we have to borrow the gear because we don't, have the gear. So you sort of have to weigh up. Is it worth us doing this? I don't know. So, but I think I'll just say I think now we're going to do the field like this, just have a strip here and go like this. It might seem like we're making a little bit more progress because this strip that we're on now will get wider, and then the gap in between the two, as it were, will get narrower. So we'll have something a little bit maybe. We'll have something to visually, I guess, to see, to look at for progress. And then once this is done, we've done probably half the field. Or actually, we've had quite a bit done. So anyway, I'm just rambling on. We'll drop this down and we'll get going. So I went into my local camera shop on, what day was it? Wednesday, I think it was. And got a DJI, got a Mavic Air 2 on order. I went in there and said to the guy that I wanted one. I was like, can you put one on hold for me and I can pay it off? And he was like, oh yeah, no problem. And then he's like, oh, we don't have any because they've sold out. So it's like, oh, I'm probably not going to be here till mid sort of June or something. So I was like, oh, that's fine. So that'll be exciting when it comes. I might have to do an unboxing video or something on that when it comes. Or when I get it, that is. Which will be exciting. So we go up here, got our tractor. Struggling, even though she's got a bit more grunt. Even though it's got 20 more horse than what we actually need to tow this. She's not exactly doing it that easy. I mean, not this field's not flat though. It is going up a hill to be fair. But oh well. Whatever. She's going alright. So hopefully now, as soon as this is going to be worked up, this field, we'll get a little bit more of a yield off it. Which will be good. It's just that left wheel there spinning its head off. Just like, okay. We'll drop that down and we will go blow. I feel like I need a radio. Like, oh, because I want to fall from the stars straight into your arms. I could become I mean, I probably shouldn't, but I could become a professional singer. What do you reckon? A professional singer and or songwriter. Probably just do the singing and then sing covers. That'd be about as far as my talents would go. Not that I really have any talents. But oh, come on, tractor. I'm actually spinning up. Not liking it. She can't handle the six. The big six shank ripper here. She's struggling a bit. When we get to the top here, I think I'll just park up for a mojo and have a sip of my, quite frankly, I'm sure now, cold tea. Does that make it iced tea, I suppose? From my Audrey Hepburn vessel with lovely Audrey on it. She's beautiful. And we'll stop. Get lined up on for the next run. here. And whoops, we'll go. There we go, we'll drop that. Get out, check out the big girl, the big rig. We're doing okay. Beautiful. Yeah, we're doing all right. Let's continue. It does sit down, obviously, pretty easy because it's going, you know, downhill. But when we come back up, she does struggle a little bit, this tractor. It doesn't quite have enough grunt. I suppose at least it's a four-wheel drive tractor. If it was only two-wheel drive, she'd probably struggle a little bit more. We'll go up here. I think we'll just do this. So we'll get this bit here in the middle done, and then we'll start going over to the other side. Take me to the other side. Oh, come on, tractor. You can do it. Is this crab? Oh no, I was going to say, is this crabbing? No. Like, oh, the tractor's sort of driving on an angle. It's not just my skew with eyes, I think. Beautiful. Cool. Any song requests in the chat? Or a request maybe to not sing, or like hum to myself. She's going. We're getting the job done. We're making, look, every pass is progress to hopefully a better crop in the future. Yeah, we'll go up here one more time. I think maybe the next time we'll start over on the other side again, as to how we were doing it before. Right, light her up. Light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up, I'm on fire. It's Fallout Boy. Good old fob. I do think to myself, because I'm here going, you know, making jazzy noises and singing little bits of songs that if I will get like a copyright strike on YouTube on that, but I haven't yet on videos that have been uploaded. So, and of course, if you go shameless promotion, but if you go over to YouTube, type in Luke Who's Live, you can find some of my previous streams. More to come, of course, including this one. But I only sort of got the YouTube page going. Oh, little, I don't know, a couple of weeks or something. A couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know. Got the YouTube page going and got the videos starting to be released over on there, so if you've missed a stream, you can go and have a geezer. Because I've only just got bog standard Twitch. I've had Twitch Prime. A VOD stays on here for 60 days, I think. Whereas if you just got bog standard Twitch, it's like 14, I think. So I've exported over onto YouTube. So there's an archive onto YouTube, which would be a good reference if anybody's interested, of course. Right, so what we'll do is we'll go up here. I reckon it's only one pass back down over there on the left. I reckon that's probably one pass, one strip, maybe at the top, not quite. But we'll figure that out. But we'll go up here because we can, and then we'll have this done. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before it's done. And then we'll go and have a look, see what our seeder situation is. We might have to get some more seed and fertilizer as well. Also, you know, we're only fertilizing this once as well, which of course will have a impact on our yield. So depending if our sprayer is empty, which I would suspect it's probably close to being empty, with pesticide, we might get some liquid fertilizer as well, and then we can have the fertilizer rate can at least be 2. Go to level 2. So this here, you can see this is going to be narrower at the bottom than what it is at the top here. So it looks like to me, but that's not a problem. So hopefully our next crop of soybeans will be decent. We've run it's been ploughed, and it'll have. It's been ploughed, which will help yield. At least it used to in the game. Ploughing a field used to help yield, so I suspect it's still the case with this game. Yeah, of course, in the older previous farm sim games, it was if you plough, it helps yield, so I suspect it still will be the case with this. And then we do fertilizer when we plant, which is good. And then if our sprayer, depending on where that's at, with what's in it, we can put down some liquid fertilizer, I think. We can buy a pallet of that. A shuttle, I think they call them, little cube things. So, anyway, we'll just go up here and we'll finish off this strip. We'll go down there, and then we might go up that far side. And we will just, we'll get it done. Look, we've done this here in, I don't think it's taken us really too long. We've got a little bit to go, so exciting. And, so after we have this, of course, done, we'll go over and we'll have a look at our seeder and hook that up and see what to go there is. Or could we do that instead? Ponder. We'll see. Ah, cool. Right, bit's done. We've only got this little bit here to go. So we'll get this lined up of sorts, drop it down, rolling down the hill. And as you can see, not quite straight here, because it sort of goes right and then right a little bit more. So we'll just ease the tractor over a little bit. There we go, just to try and make it not so obvious. So the tractor sort of float, sway gently to the right here, just to get all this. Right. Make sure we get that. There we go. Awesome. So we will now, we'll start up this edge here. That street sign we knocked over a while ago, I haven't put it back up. Lazy. The local council around here. Lazy. Lackluster and lazy. This shouldn't take us too long, hopefully, to do this. It'll take us mere moments. It'll take us mere moments. I don't know if it would actually make it easier. I mean, it probably really wouldn't, because the width of our implement here, it's not massive. But I was just thinking, if we had GPS, if we could make this, probably wouldn't really make much difference. If this is, what, 4 metre width on this subsoiler, I mean, if it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6, probably 6, it'd probably worth us having a GPS set up at some point. But yeah, once again, we're a long way from something like that. So, do you think this keyboard's noisy? I guess it's because it's only bog standard. What is your Logitech? I can't even see the number on it. Don't even know where it is. Well, apparently it doesn't even have one. I'm sure there was one on the box, but, you know, don't have that handy. Just the old bog standard Logitech Ensemble keyboard mouse duo. I mean, it's so loud because it's a mechanical keyboard, of course. What do you reckon about that? I wonder how Vixie's keyboard build's coming along. It'll be interesting. Somebody over in one of the servers I'm in, Discord servers, they are manufacturing their own keyboard. That'd be... They are an enterprising individual, that is for sure. I wonder if they'll send me one for review. Or become a sponsor. The Vixie keyboard. Get one now. Oh, come on, tractor. You can do it. She's struggling a little bit up here. She's going alright. There we go. Just this bit here now, it's a little bit flatter. We're just up over that little bit of a ridge. And it rolls along very nicely. There we go. Anybody got anything exciting planned for the rest of the weekend? I hope. Whoops, hitting things with my elbow. Hopefully tomorrow. Or Monday. Hopefully tomorrow though. Planning on maybe going for a bicycle ride, but tomorrow being Sunday and Monday, I think it's supposed to be a bit rough. The weather, which won't be fun. So I might have to postpone that, which will be a shame. So I did a route last week. Actually, a little while ago now, a friend and I, we drove a particular path we thought might be okay to ride. Anyway, it was like, and then as many things happen, it's one of those, we should ride this. And it's like, okay. And then like, that's as far as it goes. So last week I actually rode the route we drove, I thought, oh yeah, I'll give it a go, see how we go. And I hadn't been out in this particular area for a little while for a decent sort of bicycle ride. So I thought, oh, I'll do it. Rode round and also it was a bit of one of those, how well am I going to cope with this? Because it's about 43 kilometre loop. So, it's not short, but then when it comes to cycling, also it's sort of like, it's not long. It's solidly mid-range, but it's long for me because when it sort of gets up 30, 40 kilometres, that's a longer ride for me. I typically do 10. So I have a particular route I take around where I live is about 10 kilometres. So I do that like weekdays, and then on the weekend I try to do a longer ride. So if that's where I live, riding into the city and back, for example, it might be, depending on how I sort of work that, it might be 25, 30 Ks. So when we get up to something that's sort of 40, 45, 50, we're starting to get a little bit more length, at least for me. So this route's about 43 Ks, and it's not flat or anything. It's out in the country, like in the farming area, if you will, near where I live. It's out in the country, so roads are flat, roads are hilly, roads are rough. So I thought, I was sort of like, I'll ride this, see how I can cope, how well I do. I went pretty well, and I was a little bit annoyed because my average speed, when I was finishing, my average speed, it was 25.9, and when I was riding up to where my finish point was, it was sort of going 25.9, and it got to 26, and I was like, yes, 26 Ks average speed. That's what I want to be. Anyway, but as I was slowing down to get off my bike because I'd finished, that went back to 25.9 Ks. So I was a little bit annoyed with that, but maybe if I ride with somebody else, my friend, we can do a little bit of drafting or something like that, and I can have a good 26k average speed, which would be nice. But I think it was a pretty decent effort for me, and also considering I was also doing it riding by myself, because it does help when you're riding with somebody else, because you can get in behind them, get like a little bit of a slipstream and all that jazz. Well, look at that, we're making good progress. We're almost finished, so it's good to see in this context that how much we have to do, and every pass we do is going to narrow this gap here, which is good. So all about narrowing gaps. I don't like gaps. They look unruly. You see something's got a gap in it, and you're like, ugh. It shouldn't be like that. Alrighty, let's see here. We'll go a little bit of this. Reverse. There we go. Let's Gabra. Sort of been thinking maybe I could try streaming at maybe a little bit different hour, maybe a little bit later. I'm not sure, because it's about 2:45 p.m. where I am. So maybe I could do like a start at 7:38 something maybe, and go to maybe. We safely start at 8. We go to maybe 10. Try that. Could be. It'd be interesting to see if a different time slot makes any difference in viewers, I think. I don't know. Probably more conducive for an Australian audience to be doing it a little bit later on in the evening. It's probably a bit better. Rightio. Anywho, oh. Right, over that. We'll turn this. We will wheel this bad boy around. I think something most definitely is going to be worth getting, worth us investing in, and probably not too distant future, is some grain. Well, is some silos, and that being silos for seed, that being silos for fertilizer, etc. as well. So then we can, instead of having to buy the pallets and driving down to the shop to fill up our seeder and sprayer and whatever, we can just have the bins at the farmyard ready. So I do have a mod. It's not something that the game has, which is okay. But there is a Giants software that have a mod, which I've got installed. I think we can buy a silo. And that's it. The grain does cost more, or the product does cost more than what it would cost compared to going to the shop and just getting a pallet. But it's the convenience of it. So the cost differential, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's just the convenience of it being there, and we can just park beside it and refill our stuff. So. Right, we're almost done, so we'll just drive. It'll be one strip. Wow, words. It'll be one. Yeah, strip back down when we're done here, which is good. Which will be excellent. Excellente. Oh, come on, tractor. You can do it. She's spinning up a little bit, that right rear wheel. Oh, turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then you fall apart. Right, and we'll mosey on back downtown. Back downtown, back down here. Cool, well we've got this done. Almost, unless there's an absolute catastrophic disaster in between now and the end of the field. So we will unhook the subsoiler here. We will put our seeder on, and then we can have a look and see what the seed situation is. And what are we going to put in? Soybeans. So we will also have a look to see what. Make sure we've got the appropriate seed selected. We might do a run around the outside, just so we're ready for next time. Heather, hi, how you doing? Are you still a floating head? Or not? Also, how's your visitor that you've got there for the weekend? Let's do a bit of reversing action. I bet you could reverse a trailer, Heather. I'm average at it. Actually, I haven't really been in a situation where I have to, like, I've never been in a situation actually where I've had to reverse a trailer because I don't tow trailers. Anyway. Ah, that's good that your pet took... I was going to say that your pet took the pets. Sorry, no, that your pets took the pet for a walk. Doing okay. It's going to change up soybeans. So, rundown of what's happened. We finished harvesting our field there. Our field of canola at the time. We went and we made a purchase. So we bought the subsoiler here because our field needed ploughing, and we can use this. Because it also works as a plough. So we've just run that through our field, and now we've got the seeder back on. The Crestmaster 3570. And then we're going to put soybeans in. So we're just going to go around the outside of the field maybe twice or something. And thought we might wrap it up. It's interesting, this brand here, Stara. I've never seen anything around here of that brand. I think it's more of a South American brand, because in Farming Simulator 17, there was the Platinum DLC, and you got a South American based map, and as a result you got more gear, and this brand Stara stuff was in the DLC as well, so I would assume it's more of a South American, well, there you go, South American brand. And I've just gone here, look at, I've just lifted that up, so I've driven over here with it down, but I will. So we've got our soybeans. Yes, so we're just going to run around, do a go around the field, maybe twice. And then I think we're about ready to wrap it up. So. And there we go. Excellent. Whoops. There we go. Back a little bit more. I think really, like, at least, well, I was talking about having a GPS on the tractor earlier, and I think really, I mean, when it comes to seeding or planting, I think having a GPS is justified for sure. When you're doing groundwork, cultivating, ploughing, whatever, less so, because the overlap doesn't matter, really. But of course, with planting or even spraying fertilizer, whatever, the overlap, something to be aware of, because it does, well, it's costing you product. So you look at this here, all on the left here. It's costing us product. It's not getting put into the ground. But so if I had a GPS system, that'd be okay. But I don't think I'm going to get a GPS on this tractor. This isn't like our forever tractor. But yeah, we will get an upgrade at some point, of course, and we'll probably maybe look at getting a GPS on that. I think actually what we might do is next time, like when it's time to, we're going to hit that sign. I think when it's time to get a tractor, like a new one. I think it's probably be worth getting like the power harrow and also the seed attachment and whatnot to go with our Kuhn subsoil that we got there. So then we can be a one pass solution. So we will wow words we will be theoretically ploughing, cultivating, seeding in one pass. So I think that's something to look into. Of course, we need a tractor with front hitch for that, but something to look at in the future, indeed. So we will just schmooze up here and we'll go along the top again and back down the side and along the bottom. So I might go get myself a new cuppa because Audrey's gone cold on me, which is not the best. Wage payment $152. Rightio. So I'll just sort of go around across the edge here, and that will also just give us that little bit more room to turn around as well when we start going up and down and doing the field, planting the field proper. This is I mean, doing these edges is something that you would do last, really, in the real world, unless you were doing it to, if you had a GPS, for example, and you were going around the edges to map out your field. But really, you'd probably do this up, down. It's the last thing you'd do, really, but we're doing it this way because I did it my way. Ah, beautiful. Frankie Sonutra. So this will have fertilizer. We've run the disc over it. We have ploughed it, which is good. So hopefully these little things, it's just going to help us get a bit more of a better yield with our soybeans. So I think fertilizer and things obviously is worth investing in. If it's going to help us get more product off the field, then we can sell that, of course, the more, get more do-re-mi and expand the farm a bit more. So that's what it's all about. Making cashola. And there we go. We've done our 2 runs around the outside, so we'll just get the tractor lined up. No traffic around, so we've got plenty of room here to manoeuvre, which is good. Now where do we want to go? We want to go up here. Awesome. So we'll just turn that off, but we'll plop it down, turn our tractor off. So there we go. We've done 2 runs around the outside of our field, which we have, we've run the subsoiler through it, which also counts as a plough. So we have ploughed our field, gone around the outside twice. So next time, everybody, we'll finish off our seeding. And no doubt we will then have to deal with things, because we'll have a crop in and we will crank up the time as well. So then, of course, we'll have to deal with things like weeds. And I was thinking, depending on how much product is in the sprayer, we might get some fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and put that on as well. And that, it's just going to help us with that, getting the yield up a little bit more, and just helping us get a bit more out of this field. Look at how huge this battery is on this tractor. That's massive. Anyway, everybody, as always, hope you enjoyed it. We will be back Wednesday with American Truck Simulator, which will be exciting because last time we bought ourselves a truck. So we will be breaking that in and doing some jobs with our truck we got on American Truck Simulator. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Oh my goodness. Oh. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for coming by, folks. Let's see. Do that one.